welcome back. Today I have a new series I am starting. It's nothing that's going to be quite like anything that's weekly or monthly, but it'll go on as I find more and more dupes or things that I think could be potential dupes. So I'm calling it Dupe or Dud, and I feel like I got that from somewhere, but I don't know who, but I'm not taking credit for it. Anyway, I've got a couple of duds, and I think I'm going to start out with those, and then the rest are dupes. So if you want to see what high-end products I have found some dupes for, just keep watching. Alright, to start out with the duds, they happen to both be e.l.f. products. Don't get me wrong, I love e.l.f. I have tons of e.l.f. products, and they have some really good ones. The first is, I was looking for a dupe for this Dior Addict Fluid Shadow in Aurora. It's this nice, beautiful, like rose gold metallic liquid eyeshadow. It's so pretty. I'll insert swatches of these side by side so you can see what I'm about to tell you. This is so opaque and just pure gorgeousness, but it's like $32, $35 for this. So while I'm happy and satisfied with this product, if I wanted more colors, I don't know if I wanted to spend that much. So when e.l.f. came out with their, I guess, version, whether they were intending to dupe it or not, I don't know, I wanted to grab it and see if it was a dupe. Unfortunately, I was disappointed. This is, I would say, is a nice shadow topper if you want to add some shimmer, but it's very sheer and you can't build upon it. I tried putting a couple layers on top, and it didn't work. It's still kind of thinned out. But this is a dud. So if you were thinking this might be a dupe, even though it's only a few bucks, I'd skip it. Now the second dud isn't a complete failure. It just doesn't live up to what the high-end product is capable of. And that would be one of my favorite high-end foundations, which is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. I love this stuff. I can't say anything bad about it. I wear this and I just love the way my skin looks. I'm not wearing it today, but because I actually wanted a little less product on, and I guess maybe that's a negative, is I can feel this sitting on my face even though it doesn't look like it. And personally, that doesn't always bother me, but it's so hot that I wore a tinted moisturizer and a powder today just to deal with the heat. Now, I wanted to know if the e.l.f. stick foundation was a dupe, and on its own, without comparing it to the Makeup Forever, it's a good product. It's a nice foundation. I did find that it kind of wore away around like my nose area, and I don't have oily skin, so I was sweating, so that would have contributed to it. But I wouldn't say this has the best lasting power, but it looks nice. The color's nice. I have Ivory, which is the lightest one, and it feels comfortable on the skin, but it's a little more medium coverage, where I would call this medium to full. You can build upon this, but it's just not as good. Now this is $6, so if you don't have money to spend on the high end, go for the e.l.f. one. It's not bad. I do recommend it. But is it a dupe? No. I'm considering it a dud because it's not as good as this. I've got a good many dupes, so that makes up for the couple of duds I have, but that's the point of the series. The first one is, I have found a dupe for this Laura Mercier Infusion de Rose Oil. This smells, I gotta smell it. If you love the smell of roses, you'd love this. Smells like roses, and it's so moisturizing. Like, I just add a few drops to my moisturizer at night, especially in the winter time when I have super dry skin, and it just feels wonderful. You can see that it's actually helping your skin out, and you can actually use this for other things. You can use it for like a hair conditioner, to put on your ends. Obviously you don't want to put an oil on your roots. You can use it for your cuticles to moisturize that. and I just love this. So I don't think I mentioned this is like a $60 product, and that's a lot of money. So I wanted to find a dupe, and I did. Now this is the Botanics facial oil, and it is with nourishing rose hip. This does not smell like roses, and it does not smell amazing, like especially in comparison to this. However, the properties it holds are identical, I would say, to the rose oil. It's very moisturizing. You can use it the same way you use the Laura Mercier one, and I just absolutely love it. Not a big fan of the smell, but it's not pungent enough to deter me from using it. I still enjoy it, and this was like under $10. So if you need a good facial oil and you're on a budget, go to Target or Ulta or wherever you can get the Botanics line and get the facial oil. Highly recommend it. So here's the first dupe I've got for you. Second dupe today is for the Beauty Blender. I love this sponge. It's amazing. I have never really found a good dupe, and to be honest, the dupe I have is not as good as the original, but I'm still considering it a dupe because in its own right it is very good. And it has the same finish. It applies foundation just as beautifully. But for some reason I think I just prefer the texture of the Beauty Blender, and that is the Ulta makeup sponges. It comes in a 2-pack for $10. So it's about $5 per sponge, although I don't think you can get them separately. And compare that to one sponge for $20. It's a fantastic deal. They're pretty similar in shape, although I say this is a little more rotund. And their texture is completely different. This absorbs more liquid, so you have to put more effort into taking out the water once you wet it. But once you get through that, I don't think it sucks up as much makeup as other makeup sponges I've used. Like this doesn't suck up your makeup. It doesn't eat away your makeup, so you're not wasting product. Whereas this could tend to do that depending on what foundation you're using. However, I love this, and I grab both of them equally. So I do consider this a dupe and highly recommend the Ulta sponge. And then I have some eyeshadow sticks. So if you've ever used the Laura Mercier Caviar sticks, they're wonderful. I have rose gold and amethyst. They're my two favorites. I had a bunch of them, but I just kept these two because I just wasn't using them very much, but these were my all-time favorite colors, and you can just use these two and make a whole look. It's wonderful. So I found something that I would say is close enough in color, so it's a close enough color dupe, but like formula wise it is a very good dupe, and that would be the Rimmel ScandalEyes eyeshadow stick. And the colors I have, so the one that is close to amethyst is bluffing, and the one close to rose gold is bulletproof beige. I'm going to insert some swatches so you can see a side by side, but these are very creamy and you have enough time to blend things out. They blend out wonderfully, and then they set and they stay in place and they last all day, so you don't have to worry about like transfer to your upper lid or any smudging. So I was so happy to find these because these are almost $30 a piece, and these were like less than 10. So wonderful dupe in the Rimmel for the Laura Mercier. And then I have my last two dupes are powders. So I have found a dupe for the very popular, or more so like maybe like last year it was very popular, Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is wonderful, especially for oily skin, but I do have dry skin and I still love this. It just sets everything beautifully, and everything looks flawless. And again, this is, I mean, if you know anything about Laura Mercier products, they're expensive. It's a high-end luxury brand. So I found a dupe, and I want to say someone else has mentioned this before. I don't know who, but I wanted to test it out myself and see if this really was a dupe, and it is. And it's the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder, and it's also in, I want to say yeah, it's also translucent. And it's identical. Like, I didn't look at the ingredients, so ingredient wise they might not be, but the way they apply, the way they sit on your face, and the way they last, identical. And this is like $3. So if you were interested in this and didn't want to fork out the money, go to like Walmart or Target or something and pick this up. Just as beautiful. Now the packaging is not as nice. So with the Laura Mercier, which mine is not the best, you have a sifter and the top like screws in and you're not going to lose any product. So when you're only spending $3, you are taking a cut in packaging, but I think you might find that that's okay. This one also comes with a powder puff, but look, like, even though it has a sifter, it gets so messy. Like, I'm pouring out product. And this doesn't screw on, it just sits on. Oh, did you see that smoke? Yep. So I tend to use the Laura Mercier one more because of the packaging, not because of the product. So that's my downside to this, but otherwise it's a great dupe for the Laura Mercier powder. And then my final dupe is for the Secret Brightening Powder from Laura Mercier. I know I have a lot of Laura Mercier. I know I have a lot of Laura Mercier products, and I actually worked at a counter last year, so some of this was gratis, some of this I bought myself. So I have a lot of it in my collection, and I kept the stuff that was genuinely good. And my all-time favorite Laura Mercier product is the Secret Brightening Powder. It's beautiful. Oh my god, it's magic in a jar. Your concealer will not crease, and it like has the reflective particles, so your dark circles just don't show up as much. And if you'd seen me before my makeup, you would have seen how bad my dark circles were. And the dupe is the High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder from e.l.f. The downside with this is you get a lot less product, but you're only paying like $3 for it, so I think you can handle that. You know, to replenishing that's not going to be as much as when you'd have to refill this. And I don't know if you can see, getting kind of low on this, so I'm glad I have this as a backup. This has, not on your face, but like in the jar, it has like a pinkish tint, and I don't see the, like in the Laura Mercier you can see the reflective particles, although they don't show up on your face. But when it comes to setting your setting your concealer, this works just as well. I think this has a little better, this is a little better when it comes to reflecting light and hiding your dark circles, but this is pretty good, and it also, your concealer also will not crease. So that is my final dupe. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you found some good drugstore dupes for high-end products. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and until next time, bye guys.